Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Trevor and this is Wise Exotics. It is a channel dedicated to my care and growth of my Nepenthes, which are carnivorous plants. Now, for those of you new here, welcome. Those returning, also welcome. Hope everything's doing well. Some of you chatted with me while I was in the hospital, and I do really appreciate that. And on Instagram, for those of you wondering about medical condition, currently I'm waiting to get my next PET scan, which is this week, and then I'll get the information following the next week, hopefully from my oncologist, and see what the results are. Hoping for full remission, which means I'm cured. For those new, I was diagnosed at the beginning of this year with cancer, aggressive cancer, lymphoma. It was in my stomach, about a 14 centimeter mass, and I've been going through very intensive chemo treatments for basically 6 months straight. Highly intensive, about 3 times what other people get, and I'm totally fine in terms of no nausea, no vomiting. Very weak though, nerve pain in my hands and feet, little zings here and there. So yeah, basically in my channel I talk about my Nepenthes, what I've been doing right, what I've been doing wrong. I have quite a variety of this species. They're everywhere. These are located in a glass room on the side of my house. Some of these are rare, some of these are not, some of these are common, etc. I grow these because I find them all interesting, and all the species I have I bought because I like the look, or I was intrigued to see how they develop and grow over time from a young age. I document and do this so if anybody else is trying to grow these or having problems, they can review and see what I'm doing versus them, and maybe we can both figure out what I'm doing right. Because so far I am magically doing something right. Now, over on this side, as you can see, I have these plants in the open air. Next to it is my dining room, you can see, and then into my living room. I can actually see these plants from almost anywhere. So these are highland species for the most part that I can recall. Over here, I have a tank that contains some lowland and highland. Now, I don't want people to be confused because I call this a lowland setup. It's the best lowland setup I can do because my natural temperature ranges are between 50 and 73. We do get a random hot day, but that's like 80, 85. It's usually not that hot here. It's like 1 or 2 days once in a blue moon. So my temperatures are a lot cooler than most would do for lowland. Lowland can handle colder temperatures, but they still need high humidity. Thus, the tank setup. The tank locks in the humidity. It does have the corner. It's actually tilted like this, so the air goes out the back corners on each side, and then out the front as well in the corners to cycle airflow. You do that because you don't want mold. Because if you completely seal this off and then you don't open or air it out so often, you're going to get mold growing on your leaves. It's not a fun process, and you have to clean the leaves with like neem oil and scrub them down, and it's not fun. So this was my solution, and it's been working. I do have highlands in with these lowlands in this tank, and they are doing better because of it, because it is a little warmer. It has a lot higher constant humidity, and overall it's been doing really well. Now within this room there are also some birds. That's Polo. That is Hummer. And on this side we got Sweet Pea, we got Bonnie, and we got Clyde. Bonnie will actually come out. Bonnie, you want to come out? No, she's eating some seeds. There's also 2 snakes. There's a jungle carpet python, and then a western hognose, I believe. There's actually a western and an eastern. I believe I have a western. It is a hognose, though. It is venomous, by the way. It's not like a cobra, which has fangs in the front. It actually has what are called rear fangs. That noise. So if you hear any weird noises in the background, it's usually the birds playing or doing something, because I'm not paying attention to them. Hummer. Beep beep. Yeah. So that's Hummer. Polo is pretty much like that. Yeah. Let's see. The lowland tank's been doing really well. I know my Diabolica had a very big picture, as did my Truncata. You can actually see it right here in this corner. That's the new Truncata picture that just popped. It started green when I initially got it, and its parents are both green, so I don't know why it's getting this reddish coloring and then yellow rim. So it might be a darker colored Truncata. Really intrigued. I always get the weird ones. I did put my Northiana in here, as I said right there. You can see that pink cup. It's directly right here. And then on the other side there is my other Northiana, which is actually seed grown. The pink cup is a red Northiana, while the seed grown is a green Northiana. The Sumatrana had a pitcher pop, doing fine. Replicantley actually had a really large pitcher. And overall, Velosa Hamada's doing well. My other Hamadas are doing well. Both the AW actually are developing pitchers again. I don't know what was going on with them. The AW1, I know why it had problems. It was recovering from root rot, so it's very sensitive, but it's coming back. The AW4, I don't know why. It was stopping, it was slowing its growth down and not producing pitchers as often. It's like on-off pitchers. Don't know why. It seems that the Tambusisi variant of Nepenthes, which I have for that species, grows a lot more faster, but it's more sensitive to intense light because it actually started to get red leaves, which is kind of like a sunburn. Over here when I had the spotlights on it on this side, because I used to keep it in this little dome. So that little square within a square is actually a seedling dome. Right now I'm airing them out. Overall they're going fine. So let's pop on down over here. Clipiata had a nice big picture right here. My AW1 Raja cross Loei Vici has a nice picture, doing well. This is from tissue culture. Right there is my black Cephalotus, doing well. The Paloenensis popped some leaves. Looks like I might also have a picture growing. I am also happy to report right there on that larger plant right here is a Raja Ima. Raja Ima is finally going to, it seems, give me picture right on that leaf. I don't know why it's on that leaf, but it's giving me a picture, so no complaints. Sibulinensis did some nice leaf jumps. There you can see, I don't know why it wants to lean over there away from the light, but I know that that species is a little more light sensitive, so I might move it around and figure out a different place for it. Glandifleurs across Marciana right there. Get nice leaf jumps, big pictures. Happy with that. Right here is my Raja Edwardsiana. It actually has a nice picture right on this side that's better formed and has teeth, so I'm really excited to see it developing. My Burgundy cross Raja Burgundy Seagren usually has tiny little pictures. It had a larger one over here. It was a nice little quick thing. Macrophilia looks like it's popping a new leaf. Very tiny, but it's recovering from its slug attack. The Velosa, which I thought also had a tiny leaf, seems to be have grown to normal leaf size. So Velosa seems to be doing totally fine, even though it's tiny. Mongso's doing very well, growing very rapidly. This one is really weird. I got this from such of Nepenthes, as well as trying to figure out where it is. This one right here, which is a double one. It has a basil already. My Edwardsiana already just popped a new picture like a day or two ago, so I was really happy to see that. Already has another leaf. Excuse me, random cough from nowhere. Still trying to get over that cold, but I'm doing pretty well. Just random cough. Raja's doing well. It's got 3 basils. Lovii is doing fine. Diabolica. It looks like that split tip is becoming just a new leaf, and it was just growing way too quickly, so it'll probably be a bigger leaf, a smaller leaf, and then a bigger leaf. That's what I'm guessing. Robicantley already has some new pictures developing right there under that leaf. Always a reddish colored Robicantley. It's not black or brown, so I hope it stays red. I kind of like that coloration. I know on its seed siblings that some other people bought were a browner color. Mine is this kind of rubyish dark red. I kind of like it. For those of you who are thinking, you know, can you start growing these plants? Yeah. A really easy one I would recommend is this one. This is called X Brigsiana or Loei crossventricosa red. They develop these really pretty pictures that are red with stripes and ribbing, and they get very large, and they're just pretty. And they're it's probably one of the most durable plants. I've thrown it everywhere, lowland, highland. Seems to be doing well. Right here is actually a ventricular red pitcher, a seed grown. Hasn't given me a picture yet. This one's been a bit sensitive. So pure species, unlike hybrids, tend to be a little more sensitive. This is actually Burgundy cross glandiflora, if I recall correctly. Yep. I got some big leaves coming up here. Gonna have to move this one around. That's actually VTI Burgundy, Loei VTI Burgundy from Red Leaf. It's called RE30 seed ground, I believe. Yeah. Over here I have some other Red Leaf exotics. Is that one and that one. I believe those are my only 2 Red Leaf. Unless I'm forgetting. Yeah, so those are my 3 Red Leafs right there. I think there's another one next to it, but I'm probably just, yeah. That one's got a nice flare tip coming on. Overall, doing pretty well. My Singulana X Diabolica had its first picture in a long time over there. Looks like it's going to give me some more. That one is a very slow to grow plant. It's a seed grown little brat. Overall, they're doing fine over on the highland. My Queen Molini, which is my largest plant, is up there. Let's go over here to the lowland chain. Oh, before I do that, my highland, which are up here, it looks like the super glue plant is losing its pitcher finally. That lasted like months, so I'll give it some credit. No problems up here. I actually did get an African violet growing here. Some were asking, so this is actually my mangosteen, purple, growing over here. Took me a while to get this plant, and it seems to be very happy and coming back, so not sure if it's, I think I need to give it some more. It's been very dry the last couple of days, so I've been misting this area up here because this tends to dry out quicker than my others. Let's see, so we'll go into the lowlands. Highlands are doing great. You can see a nice picture hiding in there. So that is my seed-grown Northiana. This is my tissue culture Northiana, which is red. Both are doing fine. As I know some people are asking about my weird Northiana. You can actually grow lowlands in colder temperatures, they just grow slower. That's about the only downside. Beautiful plant picture off of this plant. That's actually off of this one. Its seed sibling has a plant picture also right there. It has a little more, rounder, or this one has a more Rafflesia look to it. But they both get this red speckling red lip. So the lip starts to get some stripes and then it darkens to pure red. It's a very interesting species. Rafflesia over there. Nepenthes pudica. It's slower to grow, but it's got a nice picture growing, hiding back there, as you can see. Velosa hamada, nice picture here. Another nice picture hiding, developing right there. Looks like, so I'm gonna keep those a little gapped. My Naga has a nice red picture. You can see it starts, it gets really red. I don't know why it's sticking there. Feel better. It looks like it just opened a new one right here in the front. This was one I got from Greenwood Exotics as a get well gift, so it's doing really well. Hopefully he can see that. My variegated Gracilis, as you can see, it's got a white stripe, doing fine. This is a weird species because it stops getting variegation and randomly gets it again. Don't know why. My speckled Rafflesia, nice big old picture here. Look at that. Starts out kind of reddish and then it gets kind of like black and brown. I just tuck its picture over there. These two, this is a highly variegated red plant. Its sibling over here has a little bit of red speckling, and then its third sibling, which is way hiding in the back there. Not much variegation so far that I can tell. Let's see, lemon cherry, which is right here. This is a very complicated plant, but it's doing really well. Hamada, both the AWs here are starting to develop pictures again. As you can see, a picture node right here. And it looks like I have 2 up here on this one, so they like the higher humidity. Truncata just got that larger picture, so really nice. This is from a pure green X grain trincata, so I don't know why it's getting this reddish coloration. Morelliana's doing well. As you can see, my Diabolica Minima has some pictures growing all over the place. It has actually a really nice large one over here. Very well formed. No, this is Lingulata. Sorry. Has its newer picture. It's really dark, even when it first opened, so I was really impressed with that species. The Tambusissi, there we go, put that leaf over there. Seems to grow the fastest. So of the two, which are the AEW or the Lumit variant, the Tambusissi seems to grow faster, in my experience. And it always pitchers and is always really happy. But they're a more squat pitcher, where the AW's Tambusissi, or the Lumit form, is very stout, tall, narrow, doing well. Hiding in there is my Alba Mariganata red. I have a beautiful larger species right here. Nice growth next to Pudica. Right here is Sumatra. No, doing quite well. This is a BE1 doing well too. Moss I got from Salty Trout. I slowly have letting it regrow, and then I divide it out, and letting it regrow and divide it out. So it's just a really nice little thing to do. I just take a little bit here, pull some out, and let it regrow out a bit more. And then I have live moss in all my plants. It's a very nice little development method I've got going here. So that's it so far. No issue with any of the plants that I've been able to see offhand. If anybody has any questions, or comments, concerns, again, as I said, my lowland is actually highland temperatures, just a little warmer and a higher humidity. So with that in mind, you don't have to be too worried about me keeping Velosas and Velosa Hamada and Hamadas in with the lowlands. They're actually more toward their temperature range and climate than anything, weirdly enough. So, thanks for watching. Hope everybody's doing well. Wise Exotics out.